Surprise! I already know what we're going to see. I'm very excited. Hello, hello. Oh, nice, my cam's frozen. 1 second. Is it working now? It is not. Start of a live stream, of course. Warhorse is going to be playing a new quest that we've not seen before. It's going to be an early quest gameplay. No spoilers, because obviously the story's important to them, but it should give us more of an idea of what the gameplay is like. So, pretty exciting. We've got 50 seconds left. No, it's not your internet, don't worry. It's just a classic start to an ESO stream. It is running, do not fear. We've solved it. Just refresh. Let me put it in the chat. Yeah, the last one we saw Gutenberg, so I'm pretty excited for this one to see what they're going to show us this time. We also got to see the medieval combat with the new system, which is a lot more beginner friendly, but still hard to master, in Tobi's words. So I'm excited to play it for myself still. Here we go. Mount your horses.
Hello guys, it's us again from Warhorse Studios. Hello IGN as well. I saw that you are restreaming, so thank you for that. And hello everyone. Hello chat. I hope you guys are as hyped as we are. And again, I'm not alone, and I'm very happy that I have qualified co-host here, because I'm the one talking all the crap, and they are the one with the actual content, with the actual facts, and we will shoot one fact after the other today. Prokop Jirsa, lead designer. Hi. Hello, thank you very much for coming. Maybe you guys have seen him already in the announcement video. Actually, it was shot, when was it, like in January?
It was quite some time.
Yeah, it was. But it was really cool, you know, in this scene with the big in this church in Kutna Hora, and Prokop, equally as me, we are in the team already for over 10 years.
Yeah, it's going to be 11 years this December.
Yeah. Time flies, and we managed to release
one game in a decade. Yeah.
But there's a second coming very soon, and that's why we are here today. But Prokop was also the designer on the what?
Music down.
The music down. How can you guys say me that the music is too loud? Don't worry, I will put it a little bit quieter like this.
Really
but what I wanted to say is that Prokop, equally as I, we were working here for over 10 years already, and Prokop was a designer with Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, and now he's the lead designer, so overviews everything that's going on at Warhorse Studios, from the visual parts over to the content of the game, the characters, the dialogues, the quests, very important, of course. And today we will pretty much talk about this, about the little details, about what you like about the game,
and the features.
And the features. I mean, that is very important. We are playing today a build that eventually some of you have already seen on Gamescom live. However, don't worry, we will give the extended director's cut to it with the qualified comments from us. So we are going to the area of Troski, which is the second map the first map you will encounter in Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, but it's this one of two maps that you will, not Kingdom Come 2, of course. So it's one of the two maps that you will encounter in the game.
Troski Castle.
Henry and Hans, you will actually, start on this place. Before we continue, or before we actually go into the game, I would like to a word from our sponsor, which is ourselves, of course. So let me show you one thing, guys, and that is you can still
you can pre-order.
of course, pre-order the game. Everyone should pre-order the game by now. If not, shame on you. But there is still, if you scroll down, we are on kingdomcomerpg.com on our homepage. Very nice. Oh, look, join the community. Oh, media, news. Oh, wonderful. But what you want is the game editions, and then you want the collector's edition, and you can still get it. But, and that's the sad part, the only place you can actually get it is the United States, from GameStop, for instance, where you can get it on PlayStation 5 or Xbox
you can get
Series.
The whole statue.
So
very
feel
cool.
free, if you don't got your hands on it yet, feel free to get it now.
Damn.
I think it's really, really nice, really great. As a matter of fact, it is
Tobi made it.
right under my arm, down there. There's the collector's edition. Very nice, very fancy.
Unboxing.
And another part of the collector's edition is there on the right side, right?
Oh,
this guy,
a horse.
Henry on a horse.
There's a Lego set as well, actually.
That is something every
it's not Lego.
real gamer
Sorry.
should absolutely get that, right? So. And of course, last but not least, I just want to really quickly thank you, MSI, for this wonderful PC here. See that? Oh, very good, very fancy. That's the power of the stream today. Okie dokie. So, let's slowly but steadily go into the game. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot, not at us, but into the chat, write everything down. I will really try super hard to read everything. However, I'm not a pro streamer. I'm a pro talker, but not a pro
They usually
reader.
do pre-order bonuses you can buy later.
Read everything and try to answer as much as possible. But
Check
enough
KCD1.
talking.
I can't
Let's
remember.
go into
I'm pretty
the
sure
game.
that was the case.
The beginning will have a few, let's say, cutscenes, scenes, which we will start. We will not talk about over them, but after Henry wakes up, you will see that. Then we will.
Yeah, and maybe just an addition. There will be very little, but there will be very little spoilers. We'll choose a quest that's at the beginning of the game. I think it's very, very little spoilers, but there are some. So
I mean, it's a main quest. I can tell you
Henry's
already.
still
This
alive.
is
Spoiler.
main quest
still hungry.
M02. So it's the second main quest of the game. So and it's a main quest, and main quests are tiny little spoilery, but we tried very hard to minimize it. So
yeah, choose the scenes that are pretty safe to see even before
It's on
before
PC
you
and
actually
console,
play
yeah.
the game.
Absolutely. Okie dokie. So, ladies and gentlemen, I will now change
Gameplay.
the scene and then see you on the other side. So, see you in a second.
Hold on. Hold on. Wait.
Oh damn, what happened? Henry was in the bathhouse again.
Is it you?
Greetings, good wife. Fear not. We mean you no harm. My friend needs help. Please.
Right. Let's have a look at you. It's all right.
My parents. That was just a dream, Henry. We're in the woods. We were ambushed. But don't worry. We'll get you fixed up right as rain.
Now I've got you, horse sons.
Imagine if the grandma whips out a sword and just defends them.
Think against strong!
Oh!
Hey, lad. Are you alive, lad?
Are we alive? Oh. Mate, we got destroyed. It's a lot of jam. You're finally awake. You wake up on a carriage in Skyrim. Beginning of the game. No, not quite. Almost. It's early. They added blood effects to that. It wasn't that bad before. I remember this. Damn, Pebbles was fast back then. I don't remember Pebbles being that fast.
I've come from Skalitz. They burned it to the ground. Slaughtered everyone. Who?
That's when he got an
Who
arrow
burned
to
it
the knee.
ground? A huge army. They attacked without warning.
Get all the people inside the gates. We have to prepare for the worst. Make all the necessary arrangements.
Were you trying to cross the border?
I am Sir Marquardt von Aulitz. I come in the name of Sigismund of Luxembourg, King of Hungary and Croatia.
Das ist nicht gut. Nein.
Get up now.
We
There's
have
work to be
PTSD.
done.
That's not my mum.
I met your ma, laddie. Oh, may all the saints be praised. I was afraid you'd never wake up again.
What? Where am I?
Where would you be? Here in my cabin, where you and that pal of yours burst in last night.
She's loving it.
Slowly, lad. Slowly.
He was asleep for so long because he had to play through the entire intro of KDC1. Oh Jesus, his hand's dead. Oh no, he's alive. I wonder what he's dreaming about. Are we gonna... Oh no, we don't see that.
What happened? What about Hans?
He's taken care of for now, but he was on the edge there for a bit. And so were you, lad, so calm yourself. Last night you were 1 foot in the grave already. You were lucky you happened to turn up here.
Well, I have to talk to Hans.
You won't get much out of him now. He's lost a lot of blood and he has a fever.
She's a vampire. Be careful, Henry. She's feeling quite hungry.
What happened to him?
That cutthroat that followed you fellas cut him up bad. Hans was fighting him outside, then he came staggering in, said something about Fortuna, and collapsed on the floor.
And what about that cutthroat?
You can go out and have a look at him. Hans gave him a right hammering. I didn't get a wink of sleep with that corpse in my yard.
I understand. I'm sorry we caused you such trouble. But you'll save Hans, won't you?
God willing.
She's a legend.
I managed to pull you out of death's grip, so maybe I'll be blessed again. I'll go check on him as soon as I'm done with you. How are you feeling?
There's no part of me that doesn't hurt. Inside and out. Mostly my shoulder where I took an arrow.
Little wonder then. But you're conscious and talking. That's a good sign. Ah, your shoulder is looking a lot better. I did my best, but I don't see good no more, especially at night. So I didn't do the best job. It just wouldn't stop bleeding. And now you've moved about, it started up again. Take this and bandage it up. Not much else we can do with it now.
Thanks. I reckon I can manage that. But I need to get a breath of fresh air to clear my head.
You slept through half of God's bright day, lad. So, if you feel up to it, go ahead. At least we'll see how steady you are on your feet. While you're at it, you can stop by the trough and wash all that nasty grime off of yourself. I found an old tunic. Put it on so you don't catch a chill. It gets cold here by the water. No doubt you'll be famished and need a bite to eat. There's some hot soup in the pot on the fire. If that ain't enough, I put some bread and cheese on the table outside for you. And you'll find some of our home-brewed liquor there, too, in case you need bucking up. Don't overdo it, though.
I won't. Thanks a lot. May God reward you 1,000-fold. What's your name, by the way?
Bushena's my name.
And I'm Henry.
I know. Hans told me. I'll go and check on him. When you're done with everything, come and see me and we'll figure out what to do next.
So this quest takes place just after the intro. Terrible fool. Miraculously, you survived.
Okay.
But
So
lost several main
we
levels.
saw the little intro scene, and now Prokop will tell us about how we actually continue from KCD1 to KCD2 and what
makes
these
sense.
strange
Yeah.
red...
I think most of you recognize that there were some flashbacks to KCD1. So this is actually not the first quest you will encounter in KCD2. This is like a few moments later. So we are really trying hard to make you feel at home, even if you didn't play the first game. It's completely fine to go into the KCD2 just blind. And we're trying to like slowly here and there to tell you some facts and what happened in KCD1, so you don't feel overwhelmed at the beginning. So there's some good gameplay chunk first, so you feel right at home. And basically, what you see now on the screen is another thing we were really like, thinking about how to do and what to do with RPG in general in KCD2. And what he decided upon is that we didn't want to reset your Henry completely. So there will be...
Reset your Henry.
Yeah. We really just something happened. You kind of could guess what happened. So your stats will be lowered, but you will still have your preferences, and you would be able to have a different Henry even at the beginning of the game. And we also raised the max level considerably. So, you were really good at, the Ratai region in KCD1, but now you are a way bigger regions. There's a more important region with much better fighters. So you can achieve even more levels and perks. And actually, all of the perks are new and they're much more impactful, actually.
I sometimes compared like Henry in KCD1. I mean, most of the time when he was dealing with problems, it was like either some bandits in the forest or some lower nobility or something like that. And I sometimes say that Henry in KCD1 was something like the champion of the Sunday League. And now in KCD2, he's invited to play in the Premier League. So he knows how to play football. However, the challenges are bigger. The enemies are harder.
Definitely.
And now in KCD2, you are being dragged among armies, and there will be kings involved, and the drama and the
Emperors.
The emperors, sorry, the emperors even. Yeah. So the whole setting, the stages are higher. There's more on stake. And I think that is quite interesting. And for those who didn't recognize the first scenes, the red thing, right? That was exactly as Prokop said. That was something like flashbacks. So it was actually actual scenes from KCD1. And this is the way how we try to implement it. So we never like fist in your face. Watch this video for 20 minutes and then you can start to play the game. No. The way how we think about it is, as Prokop explained already slightly, while you are playing the game, slowly but steadily, we will give you the bare necessary information. This is you, that's your friend, that's a letter, you have to bring it to that castle. This happened. Good luck, have fun. And that is pretty much everything that is important for you. Other than that, it's really the open... Bohemia 1403, the open world is waiting for you and you can just freely roam.
And a lot of that is actually optional. If you want to delve deep, you can ask people what happened, their opinion about that, but you don't have to. You can just, rush right through what you love about the game, and if it's just, wandering around and killing bandits, good for you.
Yeah.
Talking about stats, so let me go through this quickly. Game saved, and let's open up first of all.
Oh my god, look at
this
that
wonderful hut we are in here.
Debuffs.
It's a herb woman's hut, which we can obviously see here, and she's a fan of smoked chicken, I guess. But let's open the inventory real quick, and since we are here already, let's check some of the stats.
I might move myself.
It's the one that these are pretty much the ones you already know from Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, but you can see that there are already some levels attached to them. And we can also see here in the skills that Henry knows already something, but as Prokop said, we have to hone his skills now even further, right?
As you can see, there's some of the skills are completely new. There's 9 general skills. There's then 6 combat skills. You can see, for example, maybe a little tidbit, pole arms are now a completely usable weapons. You can stash them in your inventory. You can change to you can just pick up a pole arm in the middle of the combat, which with its own perks and everything, the same as the marksmanship. It now has all the perks and everything, way more than in KCD1 and definitely more impactful.
Yeah, and one common question we get quite often is like, how does it behave with the combat? And of course here, if you check, Henry, of course, is able to use a few tricks already. Riposte, perfect block, feint, evade. So the combat got an overhaul, of course. So it plays different, it feels different, while it stays very true to its nature. I think for
polearms,
KCD1 lovers, they will feel right at home. But meanwhile, we are trying to make it a little bit more like accessible, maybe, while not dumping it down. However, since, as I said, Henry already got his fair share of combat in KCD1, he of course needs to know the bare minimum. However, he will of course hone his skills even further. And then we have also the combos, of course. So for the different weapons, and there's even one of my favorite ones. I mentioned that already in the first stream, but even unarmed combat get an overhaul. So you can actually, with a few tricks and combos, you can disarm your opponent, which is pretty cool. And which is nice. And
you can actually, there's like you can go to the clinch and to like basically a brawl, and you can also, like, if you're good enough, you can just from the unarmed combat you can go immediately to stealth skill. So it's hard, but it's doable.
Okay, but we are still bleeding and we stink. So
you are a hungry boy.
And hungry Henry, of course. Stamina is decreased. I can't do anything with the reekiness right now. We can wash ourselves, but not while sitting on the bed. However, if going to the inventory and taking some bandages, I will of course be able to
I'm gonna play through the entire game.
Take care of my wounds. That's done, and to not run around naked, I will put on this wonderful short tunic.
What a nice looking boy.
What a nice looking boy, exactly. Yeah, isn't that beautiful?
Doing to hands?
I think our environment and graphic
Stroking
designers are
him.
really did the extra miles again. And today will be a more of a hiking trip. As I said, we are going through the
Oh, yes,
countryside
open
of
world. Very excited.
Trotsky Castle. But first, we are hungry and we have to get up. And hungry Henry needs to
How
eat something.
hilarious that we start off hungry.
Yay.
So-
Food on the spoon.
Food
Yes.
on the spoon. That is actually something that you were fighting for a lot.
Yeah, it's just such a tiny thing, but the level of polish in the game is just just the sum of these tiny things that, and hopefully we did a lot of them. So yeah.
Yeah, I think generally the KCD is a lot about the details, and I know that many gamers probably won't nerd about the fact that there's food on the spoon, but still for us it's a huge thing. And again, it all plays into this immersion thing, because at the end we are trying very hard to have KCD, or to make KCD one of the most, maybe the most immersive video game there is out there.
They have like pickpocketing with the purse as well
and
now.
again, it's the tiny thing.
the
Actually,
little
if you
details.
don't realize
Animations for
that
everything.
something is wrong, and you don't realize anything pretty much, then that's mission accomplished. Because if you feel it right at home, then that's exactly what we are trying to.
They have that
And as
in
we
the
were saying,
original
there's
teaser
a lot of
trailer,
like
but they
little
didn't have
things
the
you can
money to
do,
it.
even like a feature-wise, but we are not trying to pressure you into doing that. There's like ton of mini games and ton of gameplay styles and everything, but we're completely fine. We don't want to like force you into anything. The game is full of things and activities you can do, but if you want, that's fine. Just
We don't
enjoy
care
your
about
your
alchemy or
gameplay style. There's many of those.
And again, a little disclaimer. So this build is a tiny little bit older, but not too old, so don't worry. However, where we are right now in development is that we are in a very, very heavy polish and bug fixing stage. So you will encounter probably a few visual bugs here and there, but I personally am extremely, extremely happy with how the game develops and how in what a wonderful state it is right now.
Well, Tobi's happy.
So just so you know that there will be eventually some wonkiness here and there, but I think
There's
that
a
shouldn't
water
hinder
trough
us from
in front of
enjoying
the
this
hut.
Yeah.
this
Have a
wonderful
wash
piece.
there,
So
so
let's
you're
continue a
fit to
tiny little
face
bit with the
the
quest.
world.
So Hans is here on the ground. Bojana
Have you washed yourself?
wants us to wash ourselves and eat something. That is what we did.
And I
But we
ain't
will
sure if
check on
it's
our
you.
friend
Hans, can
Hans.
you hear me, friend? Christ. In the end, you bore the brunt for both of us. May all the saints watch over you.
Henry's just
Over
rambling.
Bojana, too.
You're
And
going
sometimes
to
Henry
all
is
the
even
saints watching over
A faithful
you,
Christian.
and the Holy
Yeah.
Virgin and all. Better
Sometimes.
pray you have
Pray for
someone
him.
up
It might
there
help him.
Oh, you can
Maybe.
pray.
Everything that helps our best friend here.
Yeah, there's actually here it's just a quest thing, but there's actually places in the map that you can pray in, and there's a specific perk, in, I think it's scholarship skill, that will give you like boosts for a day or two when you're a good Christian.
What? That's crazy.
Henry has some dirty nails. We need
Jesus
to wash
Christ, be
ourselves.
praised.
Absolutely.
You should.
Absolutely.
It's a shame,
Didn't turn us
Shameful.
away in
Yeah.
our
Shameful Henry.
Amen.
and it actually lowers your stats. It lowers your charisma when when you're dirty. It's harder to persuade people. So yeah, definitely do
I
that.
don't know.
Like
any
in
riffs
real
myself.
life. Dirty nails, guys out there.
Yeah,
Cut your
Maybe
nails,
I-
please.
do something.
Do something. Okay, let's rob her clean first.
Yeah,
Of
like
course.
classic RPG
Classic
players
RPG, let's
steal
check.
everything.
Still 100 carats
That
from
looks
her
so
inventory.
good. I mean, I'm here
Oh, yeah.
getting crazy about our own game, but
I like the new stat thing that
I
shows
think-
you
I
what
think
each
the-
thing does.
the
before you
difference
pick it
between
up.
KCD1 and KCD2 is really huge. And sometimes it doesn't look like that. If you look at this right now and say, hey, this looks a lot like KCD1, try and compare them one-to-one in some videos. You will see that it's like so differently, and
Big difference.
your memory might deceive you a tiny little bit, but
I've seen a lot of comments saying
went-
they look very similar, but it's
look at that. So she
Side
has
by
her
side.
hut here in this sandstone
Yeah.
block.
And you will see
carved.
more of that outside, but let's
Yeah.
see if you'll steal other. Of course you will.
Of
I know
course.
you, Tobi.
Of course. I don't even bother to go into stealth. Oh, maybe I should, just in case. So, what do we have here? Piercing arrows.
Oh my
Give it to
God,
me.
there's
I like
so
a
many
lot this new
arrows.
thing that you have the not only the name of the item, but also the value and everything. That's
You can check the stats and just decide if it's like good enough to pick even.
of course.
Robin Hood.
Yeah, you
Everything.
will. I know you will pick everything.
I will
You will just
take everything that isn't nailed to the ground. So,
Exactly.
so
You don't have lockpicks, man. You can't steal this yet. You'll have to come back
Yeah,
later.
Lucky
Just use
you.
your finger.
So, okay, what else here? Look at this here, tailor kit.
Yeah, and you
Give
can
me-
actually, well, maybe let's wait a little bit later, but you can use it in this quest.
She might need that to save hands.
So let's
though.
use it then. Okay, no more stealth mode. Thank you, Bojena, for patching us up,
be like-
and I stole everything you had. So, let's go outside and check
Oh, man.
this. So,
Oh my god.
I really like
the
this
dog's
scene.
eating his
Yeah.
body.
So from the little cutscene we saw in the beginning, we saw this dead guy here. I hope the dog is not eating him, just sniffing. But this is the dude that that was following Henry and Hans to this place, and Hans was fighting him, but got terribly wounded, as you could see.
Henry wants
He
to eat
did
him.
kill him.
But he did kill this
Out of the way,
particular
dog.
fellow, and I will. Oh, look, there's a little piggy there.
Yeah, it's hers.
Wonderful.
It's boar.
Boar. But first of all, for those out there who don't know, this is a
Oh, save
floppy
your
disk.
schnapps.
And floppy disk
Come
is
on.
something that I was sharing in school back in the days
Why is it weak?
with funny stuff on it. But for us, it's the Savior Schnapps, which we will use. That's a very common question, by the way. The saving. We want to talk about that
Sure.
for a second.
It's you can actually use it right now,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe wash yourself first.
okay.
You don't want to have save when you're dirty.
Sure.
But yeah, and you can even this is like
Oh,
little.
nice.
It's actually nice.
Yeah, and the hands are clean now.
Yeah.
So are his nails.
So you can save your game now, I'd say. Yeah. So the system is very similar to what we had in KCD1, meaning
you
there's
can't save 'cause you
auto
used
saves
it.
in quests. There's actually quite a lot more in KCD2 than it was in KCD1. So you should be
Thank God.
pretty safe even when you don't use the savior schnapps. But we still want to, like, the immersion is so important for us that we want you to, when you're trying, like deciding, should I try to rob this place or should I attack this bandit camp? There should be always some element of like
Risk.
fear or decision making.
Yeah.
Because you can't just abuse saving mechanism. There's no quick save.
You can mod
So if
though.
you want to like just try something, you'll have to use the savior schnapps, and yeah, you will have to either find it or brew it in alchemy or buy it.
But you get tipsy from it.
Yes,
So
yes.
Here you go, drunkenness.
And it's another thing, it shows the depth of our systems. Even just a simple mechanic as a drunkenness, there's associated skill with drunkenness, and there's perks. It can help you in various situations, but be careful. It's not good to drink too much because there's like a positive state of drunkenness. There's a negative state of drunkenness.
There's a negative state of drunkenness. Excuse me.
Yeah.
Never
you,
heard
you
of
don't
that.
remember your negative states. I do remember them.
Okay.
But yeah, there's also like hangovers, and you can also get addicted to alcohol. And also there's like maybe just a little tiny thing, but I think it shows how deep the game is. If you get really drunk, you'll pass out.
Oy, oy.
And if you pass out somewhere where people don't like you,
Oy, oy.
they might steal your stuff. So if you wake up, and they will actually wear them. You might wake up and see some guy wearing your, hat or boots or something like that.
It's like in this movie, I don't know how it's called in English.
My butthole is
Prince
sore.
from Zamunda or something, and they're like coming to the United States and got robbed and everything. And the other day, they find the guys outside trying to sell their.
Yeah, I think I saw
So,
that. Yeah.
Okay, we
it what you
washed
are?
ourselves and we ate something.
And you didn't faint while doing it. I'm pleased, Henry. I had to pour a whole Lethean potion into you last night.
Damn.
That's what I call medicine. It can either put a dead man back on his feet or make sure he never gets up again.
She was like 50-50 chance.
So consider yourself lucky.
I will. But what about Capon?
Well, he's less lucky.
He's dead.
That brute really knocked him about before Hans beat the life out of him.
Is there any way I can help? I owe it to Capon, and I want to do whatever
Show
I
yourself
can.
to Bojena. Here I am, Bojena.
All right. I've got a bit of that Lethean potion.
Actually, the Lethean potion is a potion from KCD1. It's in KCD2 as well, and it resets your perks if you want to like change your.
First, we have to
It's
deal
like the
with
little
that fever.
inside
the
joke.
best and fastest remedy for that is chamomile decoction. Luckily, it ain't too hard to brew, but we'll need some fresh sage for it. And, of course, chamomile. You ought to be able to manage that.
Just making
You've
some
got
tea.
young
He'll be fine.
legs and eyes, and I reckon a bit of a stroll would do you good.
I know about herbs. Oh, you can say
Easy
that
as
from the
pie.
last game.
I can do that. Sage has a purple blossom, and chamomile has white petals with a yellow center.
That's cool.
Both of them grow in sunny places. There are sandstone cliffs around here. The soil underneath might suit them.
Good lad. You really
Gonna do a
know
raging
thing or
alcoholic
two.
playthrough.
I'd never have guessed. At the back of the hut, there's a footpath leading up to the rocks. You go along there till you reach a sort of small meadow. You ought to find both of them there.
Great. I'll be back in a jiffy with a couple of handfuls.
It's actually just a
All right.
neighbour's garden.
I'll be glad if you get back here soon. I don't feel right being here with that corpse in my yard.
Should we just
Seeing
pick
him
it up and
lying
put it in
there
the
gives me
house?
chills. I can't think straight.
That's what I would do.
It makes me anxious too.
So she wants us to
Maybe
bury
I
that
could
dead
manage to
guy,
bury him somewhere.
but
Or at least
Put
hide
it in
him
the
somewhere
house.
further off in the woods.
we tell you why later.
Lord
Yeah,
be praised.
soon.
Soon.
I'm truly glad of that. Oh,
And I
you
see
feel
some
up to it,
people
Daddy?
in the chat were
You
like
ain't in the
mentioning
best
our
of
facial
shape,
animations, and I
and
think,
digging a
yeah,
grave's a tough
a lot of
job,
work were
even for
put
a
into
healthy
them, so
fella.
I really feel they're way better, obviously, than in KCD1,
Not to
but
worry.
also if you saw some
I'll
of
see
the
what I
older
can manage.
builds on Gamescom or
It's on
anywhere,
account
I
of
think
us that
even
he's
in the
here
last
anyway.
push
I wouldn't want you
to
to have
really
any more
polish the
trouble.
game, they got improved as well.
And a bit of effort, even if it's a dirty job, is the least I owe you.
Well, if you think you can manage it, good. But don't overstrain yourself. And thanks.
Ends up
Where should
digging
I
my own
put him?
grave.
Grab the spade by the dung pile and bury him by the creek. The soil will be softer there, so it should be easier.
It's
When
gonna
you head out
rot.
the gate, follow your nose. Find a good spot somewhere in the reeds and nettles. And when you're done with that, better have a wash, so's you don't have the stench of death on you.
Oh, I'm going to
stench of
have
death.
that on me for the entire playthrough.
I'll sort out the rest with Ignatius, the gravedigger, when he comes by again. So's I don't have that wretch lying here till Judgment Day.
This
All
quest
right.
always seems super realistic, you know?
get to
Like,
it.
it just makes sense.
I'm so
You're going
hungry
to
I could
need
eat a
all the
horse.
saints watching over
You can eat the body
He's hungry
outside,
again.
Henry.
Henry is a hungry boy.
Of course. I have just the right idea.
And I think I know what you want to do.
So, chicky.
Yeah, there's a
Chicken.
boar, but I don't think you can kill him now. You'll have to find the chickens, but they will
Punch
be
it in the
here
face.
like later on.
Chicky. Lucky them. Anyway, the facial animations.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good now.
Yeah, I'm also a big fan, not only of the animation, but also of the entire look of Bojana. I think she looks just like
Yeah.
a very friendly, very nice granny. But yeah, so she wanted us to
Calm
get
down,
rid
Tobi.
of this fellow here, which we will not do at this moment,
called
and
Dead
we will
Bastard.
tell you later why. So let's continue with the little quest. So she sent us to go up here,
Maybe there's consequences
to
if you don't do it.
pick a few flowers. So let's check where we are actually.
Map.
Right at the first map, as I
This is
told
the
you.
Trotsky Castle
So
map.
this is the, let's say, smaller map of the two that we have prepared for KCD.
Still pretty
2.
big.
And it's a more, let's say, countryside map. We will show you a little bit further later. I mean, but right now we are here.
Yo.
Take the spade. I don't want to do that yet, but pick chamomile and sage.
Yes.
I'm gonna plot
As you can
that
see, actually,
distance and
the
time how
first
long it
map
takes
is
to get there.
really, I really like that there's like a different biomes. So there you have the lakes and ponds, you have the sandstone, rocks, formations, you have vast farms. It's like a really deep forest. So I really like there's like an opportunity to hide all those little secrets all over the map, or quests, or interesting people to talk to.
Different biomes. So we have a mountain map and
Yeah.
a snow map. And
No. This is still in Bohemia. So, but and as you can see, I am really proud about
Look at
the
it.
forests we
Beautiful.
can make.
Yeah.
And this is not a deep forest. This is like close to the Bozhena, so it's not really a
Realist
deep forest.
forest
But
and
I like
it's
also
so
the
good.
verticality, right? That it's not only
Yeah,
like flat
yeah,
place,
yeah,
but
yeah.
that it really goes steep uphill, and that there's really quite some stuff. And again, we took a lot of inspiration, of course, of the real area. So these places really exist. I'm
Yes.
not sure if Bozhena still has a hut down there, but theoretically you can try and find this place in real life, and that's, I think, quite interesting. There's a. Do you see him?
Rabbit, yes.
Yeah.
Lucky him, I don't have a bow. I would miss him anyway, but I can
You
throw.
can try, but I don't think you can kill him with a stone, but you will never
You
hit
can
him.
throw
Yeah.
stones at him.
Come on.
Is that a bear?
Oh God, I can already see Peter reacting tomorrow. Warhorse attacking,
Yeah. It's
throwing
actually
stones.
new mechanic in KCD2, and it's obviously
Yes, it
most
did.
useful in stealth to lure people away. But
Throw a rock at him.
you're evil, man. You want to hit him with
Yeah.
a stone, don't you?
I just, I'm so bad.
I think he'll hear you when you're close. Yeah.
Oh, it's cool animation.
But
too.
we really liked it, and we really wanted to allow Henry to do it
Wow.
even when he's not near enemies. So there's like complete variants of barks and like these little sayings, or even a crime when you're like hitting somebody with a rock throw.
Say,
And it's really funny, actually. They talk to you like you're just some, what the hell you're doing.
That's what I liked a lot on KCD1 already. That when you were crouching around the city somewhere, they were asking like, "Do you have to go to the toilet or something?
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
something wrong with you?" So it's like the world is really reacting to you, and I think that is
Yeah.
again defines Kingdom Come Deliverance a lot.
Definitely.
That whatever you do in the game will have an impact, and that's what we are trying to show you a little bit today as well. That, that
Chamomile.
sometimes the decisions you do and sometimes the stuff you decide can be really tiny, just some different dialogues or whatever. But sometimes it can really have also bigger impacts, and in the worst case, it can even lead to death of certain characters.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that is really big. But I strongly
just
believe,
leave.
and that is the underlying thing, and very important for you to understand, there is no real right and wrong. So I strongly believe that even if, let's say you decide somehow that someone dies or whatever, that's not a wrong decision or a bad decision per se. It's just the way how you tell your story, or how you, Henry, goes through this, part of
Choices
history.
and consequences. We really, especially as designers, we really like those old school RPGs when you can really do anything you want. There's a lot of decisions, a lot of consequences, and a lot of approaches to every situation. This is actually, it's just such a little thing, but it's quite interesting. This is like a little pagan thing,
Ah,
but obviously
Celtic.
Bohemia in the 15th century was already heavily Christianized. But many times people think that when somebody is Christianized, when a country is Christian, suddenly everything that was before is forgotten and everybody is like the Christian as we know them today. And it's not true. Actually, the Christianization was like
I'm
a
still a
process
pagan.
that took a long time, and also those like cultures mixed together. So even people in these ages would think about themselves as Christians, but they would still have these superstitions, and they would like kind of mix the beliefs of Christianity back to
Just
some
castle.
rituals they did. They will use like parts of Christianity, and also they would carry some paganism with them into Christianity. And it's like a mixture. It's very, very interesting topic. There's some of that in game, but it's also like, you can spend hours on Wikipedia to learn about it, or even in much more,
All this talks about Christianity made me tired, so I have to
Let's
sit
go back.
down.
Sorry, I'm lover of history, so
Barefoot.
it's important.
But
to me
look
to
at
have it
that
correct.
there.
Yes,
The magic, the wizard tower.
yes.
beautiful.
Well, almost.
Almost.
This is
Indeed.
actually Trotsky Castle. It's in the middle of the Trotsky region. Not very surprising. And I will
So
not
that's the
give you any
middle of the map.
spoilers, but very important things for the story will happen there. And basically, for a big part of the story, you're trying to get there. And the castle is on a hill, obviously. It's like the smart thing to do. And you can actually see it from every part of the map. So it's kind of taunts you, and you will have to overcome it and get there.
And for those who played KCD1 and
That's cool.
saw the end of KCD1, then your initial quest is, or the KCD1 ended in a way that the lords were sitting together writing that letter
Yeah.
that you and Hans and his entourage of soldiers were supposed to bring to that castle up there. But how we ended up here in this hut in this forest
Yeah.
and not in this castle, that is something that you will then experience in the game, but it's quite dramatic, and I think it will be.
It's a real thing. It's a real castle. You can still go there even now. It's not in a good shape. It's like it's a ruin now, or partly it's ruined, but it's especially nice place. Really, if you're ever in Czech Republic, go there. It's an amazing place.
Okay. I was there. As a matter of fact, Trotsky is a Czech a regular word, and Trotsky means ruins.
Yeah.
Really, translation 1-to-1. Sad part about that the castle is actually ruins. They are ruins right now. So,
but actually,
Classic.
the name was still in place in 15th century, even when the castle was brand new. So it's kind of this little mystery why they called it like that.
And a little side note information for you guys. So Trotsky Castle was finished by the end of the 14th century, so 1390 whatever.
It's really new.
And the game takes place in 1403. So you will have the chance to see a brand new castle in its full pride, up and ready for you to explore. So,
Good timing to finish a castle.
what's happening? The dog is making a fuss.
Someone
The
stole his
chickens
horse.
arrived as well. Good for me. And we will go into stealth mode again. We have to see a little bit what's going on there.
Yeah.
The lighting looks
Before-
fantastic, yeah.
There's
That's the
some
biggest
baddies.
improvement.
Right, we can see them there already.
There's any foul
Get a hold of a weapon. Or we see already the rabbit
Oh, the
up there, so they are
workers.
slightly hearing us. We have to equip the weapon just in case, you never know. And
Just
then
run at them and be like,
I will go
with the
here,
axe.
and they will say, what? There's the piece of shit, and he's immediately attacking us.
You're done for!
Like I repeat
Am I?
himself.
Okay, show me.
Just in case you didn't hear him. Oh, damn, son.
Fuck this!
Oh!
Yeah, you
Oh.
what hit his head, but now his
Oh,
friend.
no.
Oh, you're
no.
fucked.
Oh!
Man. Yeah,
Oh, Toby.
I have died in combat.
That was embarrassing.
you did.
So, why did that happen? First of all, because I'm an idiot and I turned my back towards the enemy.
Not a smart thing to do.
Not a smart thing to do. You shouldn't. So,
Love the new artwork.
lessons learned, guys, right? The more you know. And, but, what happened actually? So, one thing you hopefully noticed is that they immediately attacked us, right? So why is that? So those dudes were apparently looking for us, for someone, we don't know that, I tell you already, and they saw their dead friend on that pile that we, our task was to bury him. We said, screw you, we won't. And they saw him and put one and one together and immediately attacked us.
Yeah,
Okay.
they knew
great.
somebody was hiding there. They knew somebody killed their friend, so they attacked you immediately.
It just
So
makes
these
sense,
are like
right?
there's obviously in the game there's like a really big choices and content, like you know them from other games, big story making events. But
there's
there are
tiny
also
ones
these
too.
little things. There are very little things that you don't even know you're making a little choice, but it is there. The game is very reactive to what you're doing.
Absolutely.
You
And
have to
because of that,
think.
I would like to try again and see what happens if we play everything a tiny little bit different.
You have
I'm,
to talk
Nah,
to
he
her
was
first.
British.
I'm stupid. I should have made the save after I talked to Bojana. So let me just skip through that. So we have this quickly. She says the same thing as before. After all, it's the same situation as we saw before. By the way, we didn't mention this earlier. Sometimes, and that was already the part in KCD1, but maybe you want to say something about this. Sometimes the perks or the skills that you learn will help you in some dialogues and unlock some special...
Yeah.
We actually do have some skills that are especially used in dialogues, a lot of like kind of persuasion or impression or intimidation and stuff like that. But we also want to use your regular skills in dialogues. So sometimes, for example, when she's asking you whether you know something about alchemy, you can use the skill. And sometimes it gives you like a new option, sometimes it just gives you some new items, or just a reputation like you just did with Bojana. She really appreciates that you know something about alchemy. The chicks are there.
But you can see the reputation we mentioned earlier.
Actually, the reputation system, maybe I can give you a little explanation. It also got pretty overhauled in KCD2. So you have a reputation with like specific types of people or some like regions. But now there's a whole thing about how the reputation distributes.
That's
So
cool.
for example, if you have like one house when the owner hates somebody else, if you do trying to kill the chicken, sorry. But what I was just trying to say is that the reputation now like is slowly distributed about to other factions if they know each other. And sometimes when you do something bad to somebody else might actually appreciate it.
Do you think Božena appreciates that I punched her chicken into
I think she
into
doesn't, but
abyss?
she didn't see you. So
Yeah.
you're lucky.
And now,
Where did the
Maybe
food
just
go?
show the chicken first. Maybe
wait a second. Show the chicken first, of course. Chicken.
it's the Y to show the
Yeah.
info.
Chicken has
There you
stolen
go.
chicken.
Yeah,
in
you can
front
see
of her.
even just plain food in our game.
Yeah.
There's so many stats. You can, if you want to, you can really delve deep into everything. You don't have to. The game you kind of understand everything, even if you don't want to really study the systems. But if you want to, and you can check right here the nourishment is 10. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cook
And
it.
after my 5-finger death punch, I cookie,
Oh,
cookie,
cool, there's
cookie.
an animation.
There you go. Yum, yum, yum. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Yes.
Good chicken.
Yes.
Good chicken.
Cooked chicken. Hey, where is it? I want it. Give me the chicken.
Eat
There
that
you
cooked
go.
ass chicken.
Up.
With left? Yeah.
Yes.
And you can see you actually
Did they show
improve the chicken
smithing?
by
No,
cooking
no.
it, which is
I don't
like
think they will today.
obvious thing to do. But you can cook food, you can dry it, you can smoke it. For example, I especially recommend drying your food because especially at the beginning you will have some trouble
Doesn't
with
go
limited
off.
inventory. So drying food makes it lighter.
Mm-hmm.
So I suggest doing
Plus,
Good tip.
food can spoil, and dried
Yeah.
and smoked and so on will, of
that.
course.
It will last way longer.
So, back to Dead Bastard.
Yeah,
Take the sword.
we had
So, Dead Bastard, first of all, give me your sword. That's always good. And now, looten und leveln, because that's the best thing you can do. Give me all
Take
your,
all his
all your
armor.
And as you
crap.
can see, we are so used to it, but actually in KCD, everything you see on any NPC is actually on him. So you can always loot anything that's on him. He really changes because you
I
loot
love that.
his clothes. So yeah,
I cannot-
he's now naked, that bastard.
I cannot loot his undies.
Yeah.
So, I took the spade, ace of spades, and now we are taking this body and do what we were
Put
told,
it in a
and that is
house,
to
and then it solves the problem as well.
bury him
Just
in
hide
the,
the
forest.
body in the
He's pretty
in the
heavy, so I
bed,
can't sprint with him.
under the
But that's
blankets.
the fastest I can do.
That would be a good idea.
Or the little boar.
My playthrough will be
checking us
very
out
sinister compared to
suspiciously.
this.
I don't like that look in his eyes. It's fierce.
Punch it out in the back.
Let's rather continue. And we have to go now in this like little swampy area kinda and try and
It looks stunning.
bury that naked bastard. Oh look, the piggy is following us.
I think he's like fleeing you actually.
No,
You might be too stinky for him.
no, he wants to create a friendship.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
that's a good point. I might be so stinky that he want to be.
Yeah.
He smells us and says, "Family, isn't it great to come home?" So you go here.
I think you need to bring him closer.
Do I? No, I don't. I know. So as a matter of fact, let me show it for you guys. I know where to dig, but if you wouldn't, as you can see on the top of the compass, it tells you that somewhere here in this region, which is now I'm covering it unfortunately with this little
Nice.
thing, we have to bury the corpse. So we drop him here, wherever. Have to find, with our nose in the dirt, have to find, start digging. There you go. And Henry is doing his job.
Covered in mud.
And actually,
Blood.
this will make you dirty again. We listen
Dirty Henry.
We actually listen to feedback, so you are like now gain like the dirtiness slower in the open world, but specific interaction with the world will make you dirty very fast. For example, digging graves.
So I can drop him in there, right?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, isn't ragdoll an amazing thing?
Yeah, always.
Go in. Come on. Put your legs in there. A little bit more. Oh no! Oh god, oh no.
I think you can bury him even like this.
Up.
Jump in with it.
Yeah, I think that's good enough, right?
He
Good
doesn't
enough.
deserve
One
anything
leg
better.
Good
sticking out
enough.
the top.
He tried to attack Hans.
Yeah, he's like an upside down popsicle right now. So, after quite a bit of time, look, and even we cut off his limbs, and the rest is
Love it.
old story. But before we go that way, let's go that way because let's try and get a tiny little bit closer to Trusky Castle. We can't go too close. the quest requires you to stay here around him, so there's a natural barrier that will tell you, I
quest
shouldn't
failed.
go.
If
And
you leave
let me just
Sir
check
Hans.
in which direction. Oh,
Yeah, you're in the right direction.
Yeah.
Just follow the stream.
so follow the stream.
And as you can see now, as I was talking about the biomes, obviously you will not go to the deserts and stuff like that. But you can see you're getting closer to the pond, to the little lake. So everything is getting a little more swampier. Yeah, different,
cool.
herbs and different trees are actually growing here, and everything, every tree, every bush, everything you see are real, flora that actually exists, that actually grows in these places, and it's mapped so meticulously that, even if you would be like a botanist, you will probably recognize a lot of them.
There was a ornithologist reaching out to us not long ago,
yes,
complaining that we have, I forgot the name of that, like some dows or something in KCD1. Because our sound engineers, actually, when he goes into the forest to get the sounds right, he's of course taking 21st century sounds, and not 1403 sounds. So
and there were some invasive species of birds that actually weren't there in the 15th century. So we had to and we actually like this kind of feedback because this is the thing we
of course
love.
How would you ever know that?
We absolutely love that. We love to talk to those people, laugh about it together, and say it's just amazing. You know what's also amazing? This view.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. Look at this.
You can swim now as well.
Maybe too good to have our faces there. So let me just put us away for a second.
It's just me, guys.
Isn't that great?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ be praised.
I really like, and there's these little nooks and crannies in around the pond that you can find interesting things and points of interest, and it's really, really nice.
And now, Prokop, the chat is asking, can Henry swim? Do you think we should debunk this? Crush their dreams.
Imagine if he immediately drowns.
Actually, at the beginning of the game, Henry will be forced to swim in a very a story moment, and it will go so horribly that he will swear he will never swim again. So sorry, you can't just freely swim anywhere.
Hungry Henry unfortunately cannot swim, guys. Crushed dreams.
It's because he's hungry. Maybe if we eat
Actually,
food.
later on, there's one quest when he'll be so drunk that he will swim again, and it will once again end horribly.
There you go.
Oh, I love that. Okay.
Is he swimming in a bathhouse?
You can consider it swimming, yeah.
Okay.
Henry
There was
can
actually
only
also
drown.
some wildlife here. So if you're lucky, then you can find crabs and little animals here as well that you can pick up and eat. Right?
Just eat raw
And you
crab,
can,
my favorite.
once again, you can cook them, smoke them. So there's there's quite a big variety of animals now, and also very nice new animations of all those animals. So you really feel when you actually met a deer in there, and you saw that he could turn pretty smoothly and everything. The level of polish in everything. It's the KCD2 is the game we really wanted to make. KCD1 was I loved the game, and I spent 6 years on the game, but I loved the game. But we were really trying something that was little above our capability. And now this game is the thing we wanted to make, and we hope that you'll we really honestly hope that in the end you'll appreciate it.
Do you think I should show the community, the chat, what they can also do if they're at beautiful places like this?
Yeah, sure.
But that's kind of a spoiler.
It's not a spoiler. It's a little feature.
It's a little feature, but it's kind of a spoiler. Guys, do you want a tiny little spoiler? Like a tiny one. It's not a story spoiler.
They know already.
They know. It's not peeing. That would be very funny. But it's actually finally we have a photo mode in the game, right? So you can watch wonderful Henry staring into distance, but also you can and
he's standing there feeling quite hungry.
Hide the hints, and you can do the most wonderful
nice
screenshots you want to do. The camera is tied to Henry, so you cannot fly extremly far away. It's also physical, so you cannot go through walls or something like that.
Yes.
But there's a tiny gimmick.
Which there's a story about it. Try to end the photo mode.
End the photo mode. Guys, take care. What's happening now?
What a view!
Yeah. When the photo mode ends, Henry will comment on what you did in the photo mode. Well, it's a generic. He will basically say like,
Nice
what
or
of you are
something.
nice or something like that. But when we are like trying to implement photo mode, there's like this issue we're trying to solve, because photo mode can be used to kind of cheat when you're, when you're trying to stealthily approach something. We didn't want you to like look around the corners, but we didn't want to limit the photo mode too much. So what we did is that when the photo mode ends, Henry will command, and that little saying of his is actually heard by people in the world. So when you're like really trying to, approach somebody in a stealth and you'll cheat in this way, when Henry says nice or what of you, the guards will say, what? What was that? And they'll look at you and go and search that place.
I think that is such a tiny detail, but still, I think KCD is all
quite funny.
about the details, and this is like so nerdy and so cool. Really. So when
Thanks
you
for
enter
the
photo
dono,
mode,
Jordan.
Henry barks something, and the others will hear it, so you cannot use it for
And
while
actually,
stealthing.
very similar thing, but when you're talking, as you were like making fun of our dirty Henry, now, when you're dirty, you actually smell. And when you're like in stealth, people
No
can
way.
actually smell you. So when
He
you're
can
like trying to
smell you.
approach the guard to stealth kill him, he can
Oh,
actually
no.
smell you and turn around. He has like completely unique dialogues about that. He'll like turn around, he'll just start to
Oh,
sniff
what's
like,
that smell?
what the hell is that?
And I ask you, what the hell is that? Because this looks like a cave or something. And since we are in in the Trotsky area, an area that is also called today the Bohemian Paradise,
Yeah.
it's full of those sandstone formations, rocky mountains kinda, and they have little caves and valleys and canyons.
Yes,
And
yes.
what can we expect there?
Well, a lot of that, a lot. In some of those, there's like a hidden stuff. So you can, if you explore, that's another thing I think that's way better in KCD2. There's a lot of interesting things to like find in the world.
Oh, yes.
It's in most of them there's some little story, even if it's just environmental storytelling. There's something Henry will comment
Oh, I
on
love
something. There will
that.
be things to loot and stuff like that. So these are like especially good places to look for something, but be careful because 15th century Bohemia, there was in a civil war, a lot of bandits, a lot of soldiers or soldiers fleeing. So it is a dangerous place. So be prepared. And as you guys saw Tobi when trying to fight, in KCD, every fight should be impactful. You shouldn't just blindly rush into like people because it is dangerous. You
Like
are
a-
supposed to use all the tools you have, you can use. You are supposed to try to talk somebody out of fighting. You're supposed to try some potions. You are supposed to try to kill a few of them from stealth first. So be careful about it.
And since we were talking about smelling, is this perk still in there that if when you have flowers in your pocket or herbs that you smell
Yes.
actually good?
Yes, and there's also a lot of hidden perks. Actually, I don't think nettles, because nettles don't grow in this kind of biomes. But for example, a good hint to our players: if you pick a lot of nettles, there's a hidden perk that will permanently raise some of your stats a little bit, but it can help you at the beginning.
Well, it's not a hidden perk anymore.
It is not. It's hidden for most of the players.
Yeah.
Only the people on the stream know.
You qualified ones who
Yeah.
were with us through this entire stream. You now have this
I love that. You
super
see,
secret.
It's very passionate.
Yeah.
OP.
Something
team.
similar was in KCD1 actually, but there's way more. There's definitely more of these in KCD2. So explore, try things, try new things. We're really trying to reward players that are trying new things, try new approaches. Yeah.
That's cool. I can't wait to find those
Dokili.
out.
So we will now go again, pick those flowers, and then address.
Maybe I
the
think
enemies.
from there, yeah, there it is. You can see the Gelée of pub, which is I think the biggest pub in the region. It's pretty big. Also,
Oh, it's massive.
some very interesting quests are there, so I definitely suggest going there. There's bathhouses also, so you can
You
use
obviously will
baths
be there then.
Bathhouses, everyone's favorite.
Yeah,
Can I slip from here?
Don't fall.
you can't slip, but you can fall.
I will not try it.
And you can see, for example,
Oh,
on the
that's
left, there's some birds flying there.
Yeah, it's
I am not think
here.
this is
They're like two
intentional, but
black
sometimes
dots.
birds can lead you to places.
Oh, interesting.
So you know what place we need to go now? Pick some flowers
Yes.
because our best friend Hans is still in his last moments there, and we were just sightseeing. So we should not do that. Hop.
It's so cool to see
And
the
I
open
will
world
scare
though,
the
finally.
deer. Go away, deer, and give me the sage.
Yes.
Purple flower.
Okie dokie.
Sage.
I really hate the
Chamomile
third person
here.
herb picking because it takes so long.
That's it.
I hope there's an option to
Okay,
turn that
before
off
we go back
in the
now,
menu.
Put all the herbs on
I
these.
will
Back
do
to Bajana on the
something.
double.
No, wait, let
Sooner
me,
Hans
let
gets that
me
remedy, the
get
better.
the autosave first, and then I will.
There was a great mod where you'd pick up
Some slight
all
one.
of the herbs
And then we
around
want to
you
show
sort
you
of
again
individually.
about how the game plays differently and how stuff will change according to what you do and how you decide and which items you choose to wear and so on and so on.
Yes.
So let me just quickly initiate this.
Gutenberg's going to
Yes.
be picked
There it is.
clean.
Now we go into the inventory, and I will take what I looted earlier from this wonderful gentleman, the
Dress up
dirty
as him.
bastard, dirty and naked bastard.
Maybe you can talk about outfits. It's a new thing.
Absolutely. So look
Ah.
on the right side. You see that everything is marked with a yellow shield right now in the inventory,
And there's a yellow sheet
and
below
there's
Henry.
a yellow sheet below Henry, because we can now actively change outfits like that. So you can have pre-prepared outfits.
Yes.
That comes really handy. So I would recommend something like a, let's say, fighting outfit, a stealth
Naked
outfit, and
outfit.
maybe a speech outfit or something like that. And you can pre-prepare those sets, and then with a click on a
Stinky
button in
outfit.
your inventory, when you're not in the middle of a combat,
Yeah.
then you need to have some safe place and some quiet place. Then you can like change the outfit. But you can pre-prepare, which I think is a quality of life improvement. Absolutely.
And there's a lot of them in the game,
Yeah.
you know, because that's
Really
something
appreciate
we
that.
wanted to improve a lot. The game should be like now much smoother to play. You should be like way easier to learn. The depth is there. It's
They have
maybe
layers
even,
as well.
The game is maybe even deeper, including the combat.
Mm-hmm.
There's some like very advanced moves that weren't in KCD1. The depth is there, but it should be a little easier to get into it, a little easier to learn everything, a little more descriptive.
And I will now. We have the different outfit, of course, but also this belt that I'm wearing is a weapons belt. I call it a Batman belt because you can put different weapons now on this belt and have a quick swapping system now that you can quicker and easier
like
change
Geralt.
weapon according to situation. So you can have, depending on your belt, you can have several, and yeah.
I don't think you have equipped the gambeson. I think you're still wearing the tunic. You can. I think you have it in an outfit, but yeah, this is the outfit you want.
Okay, there you go.
Ah,
So
And you can
just a-
actually see if you like you look onto your right side, like a little right, and you can see if you go to the secondary stats, you can see now your intimidation is 10 actually.
it's gone
Change
up.
the outfit on the left. Yeah, in here. Yeah, and go back. And now you can see it lowered a lot. Six. Because, you know, depth of the
It's
system.
not very threatening.
When you're talking to somebody or when you're fighting somebody, when you are wearing a strong armor that's fully, you know, blooded, you know, completely covered in blood, you are more intimidating. And the same actually, you know,
That's
even
cool.
in dialogues or even in other systems, it same works against people. So for example, if you will loot somebody's armor before, for example, a fight in some quest, it will be easier to intimidate him because he will feel weaker because he doesn't have his weapons, he doesn't have his armor. So all these systems are kind of working together to give you this
Amazing.
kind of options once again, or to immerse yourself in all those things you can actually do.
It just makes sense.
I will show you now something. I will keep the tunic, right? Because I want to show you something.
I think you're still pretty intimidating because you have the weapon and everything.
Okay.
If you want to show what I think you want to show,
Yeah.
go there naked.
naked.
Yeah.
But with a
Or
tunic.
at least the
with
tunic.
a tunic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let me check. Intimidation. Yeah, that's nice. So at
Yeah.
least we have the tunic. We need a weapon. But I will take my
Inventory
favorite
management
weapon
is a
here,
nightmare.
which is the axe that is lying here.
A lot
around.
better than it was in the first game.
And I want to show you now something, guys. So,
In case
a
there's
little
any foul play.
spoiler. First of all, I take this weapon. Remember earlier when we
my
arrived
axe.
here? Let me equip this just in case things go south. When we arrived here earlier, they immediately attacked us because they saw the guy. If I'm not wearing a weapon right now, it's on my belt, as you can see. And now if we approach the situation, they will at least not attack us right away. He will say, "Hello,
Come here and tell me who you are, or I'll
okay,
tell you how
Mikesh,
it
let's talk peacefully."
is. Lord von Bergov, sent us to find the renegades who ambushed some knights company down by the pond yesterday. A couple of them fled and are hiding out here in the rocks. So tell
He looks
me
like
who
a
you
bandit.
Dude
are
on the left has a
and
trigger
what
finger.
you
He
know
wants to
about it.
kill us desperately.
It's like,
yeah,
about to
let
come.
me in. So, what do you guys want to say? One
That
or
was-
two? We are the
Yeah,
messengers.
they didn't look
when
like
we were ambushed, or
the
you
Lord's
don't
men.
look
They look like
von
bandits.
Berghoff's men. One or two? Tell me.
Two.
One or two?
You'll give yourself away if you say
Some
one.
ones.
They'll attack you. Two.
Okay.
You're gonna
So
give
we
yourself
call them
away.
out, okay.
It's cool that these are
let's do
dialogue
that.
options. Like it's very
You're from
subtle.
Lord von Berghoff. You don't look like it.
Oliver, watch your tongue with me,
The
boy.
international
When I
word
said
of
we're
peace.
from-
Definitely.
from fucking
Everything
Berghoff.
peaceful starts
Who
with.
else would
Yeah,
we
with
be
the K
from
word.
anyway?
Yeah.
You can talk to me or talk to Cold Steel. Who the hell are you? And what are you doing here?
So, remember so first of all, there's different options here. Mentioned messengers, that was something we saw earlier.
We send
You're
them
looking,
away.
we can use our skill, we can lie, or we can try and intimidate them. So let's
Lie with your
try
perk.
and that
Yes.
for a second.
Do you think I'm a fool? I know a robber when I see one. There's been lots of you types in these parts recently, and the fellas from the village are well pissed off. So get lost and don't come back, or we'll
Get
take our
lost,
axes to you.
scum.
Well, that wouldn't be very nice. The thing is,
And another thing, and I think only KCD does that, when you fail something, there's a unique lines for all of them. So they actually say something instead of just a fail, and most of them are really funny. It's actually really good to really try. But now you're without a Gambason, so let's see, Tobi, how well you can.
Oh god.
Ooh. You can still initiate dialogue there, actually.
One.
show your stuff.
Oh, that will be hard. That will be hard. There's two of them.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, rip.
there I'm dead. That's very sad.
Try the Gamberson
However-
intimidation this time.
Let's try again. And let's try something different. Because
Dog making such
earlier,
a fuss about.
when we looted the different armor types, right? And let me change that outfit again. Oh, I don't have it yet. We have the bloody stuff, the Gamberson, the vagrant boots, and so on. And
I think he was
those
just showing that he'd
are,
fail
especially
intimidation.
because they are bloody, right? They are more intimidating.
Could something have happened?
Bloody
If
brilliant.
we go there now again, let's see that. And I mean, that is not. That is something that all RPGs kind of do, or many of them. But the point that we are trying to make, that will come, the revelation comes right after that scene. So let's put that weapon just in case.
Hey, you.
What's
what
up?
Do you want? Lord von Berghoff. A
Yep.
couple of them. So tell me who.
Yep. You don't
from
look
Lord
like
von
von Berghoff's man.
You can talk.
Exactly. And now, if we
Do you
say
think I'm a fool?
same thing,
I know a robber when I see one. There's been lots
And
of
we
you
look
types
like
in
a
these parts recently, and the fellas from the village are well
effing
pissed
killer
off.
full
So
of
get
blood.
lost and don't come back, or we'll take our axes to you.
Easy there. We're no robbers, we're just carrying out orders. We've had a look round here, so we can be on our way again.
Reputation lost
They're
with
just
who?
free.
The bandits.
And goodbye.
Knock him out. Knock him out.
You scoundrels. So, now you
take him
think,
out from behind.
okay, well, many RPGs do that, but
No, they don't.
Yes.
Not as well.
Actually,
nowhere.
this is just
nowhere
well,
near.
It's not a little thing. It's a kind of like a big deal. These two guys, they were not just random bandits. They actually have a role in later on in the story. They're not the main characters. If you kill them,
So
you'll
if you
not
don't
like
kill them,
lock your quest or you'll progress. No, not at all. We don't want you to reload. But there's like these little consequences. So actually those guys, later on, you can actually befriend them and they can help you in some of the quests.
What?
They are, I think, they're like in 3 quests where you can meet them, where you can talk to them. At the beginning, actually, they
gonna spare them
can
then.
make one quest a little harder because they can recognize you. They'll try to get somewhere and they will recognize you. But later on, you can befriend them and you will actually,
Von Berghoff.
have a lot of common in them with them.
And by the way, as Bokop said earlier, they have unique lines for almost everything. Did you see that he was just asking me, why the heck are you running around with a weapon in your hand? So I had my equipped weapon, and he was reacting to that.
God, they've thought of everything.
Again, that is what I'm trying to tell you all the time. The world is so reactive to you that it's really, immersiveness is extremely important for us. And now, if we tell him, listen, I'm Henry from Skalitz, as the other option.
You really are trying to win at least once, Tobi, don't you?
Absolutely. Now
You feel ashamed a little bit with your combat skills.
They will call me the Butcher of Skalitz. Yeah. They will know who the heck I am.
And an escort would be good too.
Shit, how about that? I didn't expect you to fall for it so easily. We're not von Bergov's men, and we'll deal with him later. Like we did with you yesterday by the pond. But that's the least of your worries now. We'll take your Sir Hans with us. But we've no need of you. Farewell, Henry of Skalitz. This'll be quick, boy. This'll be quick, boy.
This'll be quick, boy.
I
Look at
believe in
the
you.
old lady just slowly walking away.
Yes.
Oh, where's the other one?
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
You still let him go to your back, man?
Yeah.
Still have a chance.
Rookie mistake.
Rookie mistake, yeah. But the dog can help you.
Yeah. Do it. Come on. For the camera. Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, kill it.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's more of your style.
And you thought I'm bad at fighting,
was
but I'm
just a
actually good at acting. That's the part that you
You
need
very
to know.
proficiently stabbed him in the back.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
So first of all, Ma, I'm bleeding. Well, no, Božena, I'm
You
bleeding.
look a sight. It's a wonder you're standing on your feet. My word.
Every time.
I said the Butcher of Skalitz. It's mere scratch. Well,
You're dying there, man.
I mean, I still have HP, right?
Yeah, some.
It's nothing.
Oh,
a scratch or
The
two.
other two
It's just a flesh wound.
Play the hero. I can't see much, but
This
I know
is
what a
actually,
battered fellow looks like.
This
Lol.
line is also reactive. She really does react to what your HP is and how hurt you are. So she see through you. She knows you survive just by a tiny bit.
I'm
of
still
HP.
convinced I'm an amazing actor.
Yeah. An amazing fighter, obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I run them. So they were fighting, 3 times? So they lost a lot of stamina and I was fresh for the last one. Yeah.
I reckon it was one of those who followed us yesterday.
Fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Exactly.
Yeah.
Especially in the back.
Dear me.
So, yeah,
My
God be
Pavlova
praised.
wasn't here. Heaven knows what they'd have done to her. So, I'd like to know why all this is happening. Your friend was talking in a delirium in the night, saying you was knights. But if
So
you
there's
two
a
are
lot of
knights, then
NVIDIA
I'm the
GeForce
Queen of
questions.
Sheba.
We
Maybe
don't
she
have
is.
any info about these kind of things. So
That was a quest in
that is
KCD
something I
one.
can't answer you yet, unfortunately. Also, PC specs, if you ask about them, those will be revealed by the end of the year. As I said earlier, or in the beginning of the stream, we are right now deep into optimizations and bug fixing. But I can already give you a little tiny information. We had a really breakthrough moment not long ago, which will be really good news for someone, which I'm not telling you yet. So, see you later.
Such a vague teaser.
Yeah, very vague. So, do we tell Božena the truth or not? What do you think, guys?
Is it safe to tell her?
I don't know.
Do you believe her?
I don't know. I mean, she patched us up and she patched up.
She seems like to be a
Hans.
good person, but
I mean, everyone loves a good Look, everyone is saying one.
okay,
See?
yeah.
Can we kill? No. Okay, you
Just
deserve the
kill her.
truth, Božena. Tell me
Bow
everything.
to your ladyship.
And now I
Sir
must
Hans is
kill
the
you
younger
because
Lord
you
of
know.
Perkstein. I'm Henry of Skalitz, son of Sir Radzig Cobbler, and I'm his bodyguard. We were heading to Trotsky to deliver a message from Sir Hanish of Leiper and Margrave Jobst to Lord von Bergov. But we were ambushed by bandits yesterday down by the pond. And you already know the rest. And as God is my witness, we're no bandits. I swear to you, I'm thankful to you for saving us. And I'm sorry it caused you trouble.
Well, you sound sincere, so I'll take your word for it. I hope I won't live to regret it.
You won't. I promise you.
Promises are meant to be broken.
His
But
face.
thank you for dealing with them.
She's gonna
Except
die.
I have 2 fresh corpses in my yard.
Don't worry. I reckon I've still got a bit of strength left. I ought to be able to manage it before evening.
I'd be eternally grateful to you. But
I'll just
be
dump him in the
careful
river.
while you're at it. You don't want to open that wound or strain yourself.
What about Sir Hans? How's he doing?
He's holding up, I'd say. I
Kozlicek.
treated his wounds and I'll change his bandages shortly.
Mikesh and
What he
Kozlicek.
needs
For
most
those who
now is
speak
that
Czech,
remedy.
they will
Have
know.
you got
They will
everything
know.
for
The
it?
rest, Google it.
Chamomile and sage, like you said.
Excellent. Now to brew the potion from them. I gave you 2 the last of my supply during the night. But fresh is best anyway.
Oh, we're gonna do alchemy.
It's a shame my daughter Pavlena ain't back yet. She'd get it done in a jiffy.
You have a
But
daughter?
we'll just have to manage without her. But
Henry's
you
excited.
can do it too. It ain't nothing hard. My eyes are so bad, it'd take me all day. But at least I can tell you how to go about it.
And when she's talking about that her eyes are bad, you can actually see that she has like the eye illness that makes her see bad. It's like a custom made for her.
And we'll brew the remedy, right? So alchemy, of course, again,
Yeah.
back in the game.
But damn it, Tobi, clean yourself. Do you see how dirty you are?
Yeah. Yes.
Been at the alchemist bench a few times, but it's been quite a while.
That's grand. More than I was hoping for. And
I
not
doubt
to
it.
worry, it'll all come back to you. I have a book here with the recipe, but it'll be better if I tell you. I know it
Can
by
see the little
heart.
shade in her eyes, so this is not a
Yeah.
bug or something. This is like really
My word.
her having
Maybe
an
you
illness.
really are a noble
I love
soul.
how she misses that.
Just in case.
That's another
That
thing we
front
did. We have like a
tooth.
different
Advice
teeth for
would
different
be
people.
great.
So we,
Of course.
a lot of times in
Everything we
games,
need
even when
is
they're
in the
Middle Ages,
heart.
everybody has a
Let's
perfect
get to
teeth.
it.
Not in our game.
But on the contrary, there's a very, 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 very common
The doggo.
misconception
True.
that everyone has black teeth, everything is falling
it's not
out,
true.
and like, that's absolutely
Because sugar wasn't
exactly
that consumed back
exactly,
then. So
exactly.
they actually had, even overall, the hygiene and teeth and everything was pretty good in Middle Ages.
Exactly. So absolutely. So let's blame modern food industry. So exactly the sugar is
Pet the dog.
They
He's
didn't
hungry.
have sugary diets, so
Yes.
they were mainly meat or natural stuff. So there's really not much they can. Well, unless you get an axe in your face, but then you have other problems, I guess.
Yeah.
So should I check on Kozlicek and
Sure.
I will not pick
Make
them
it-
up.
You can use the compare. That's another thing that we did. If you
Oh, look,
press
here's a
Y.
pretzel. And
Oh.
if Sexy Biscuit Roxy is watching, the pretzel is for you. So, she hates the pretzels. So, doors and a key chest. Interesting.
It might be useful later on.
Let's take everything. Taylor's kit.
Ah, interesting.
Can actually, where we were teasing at the beginning, you can actually fix some of your clothes.
Let's check that out. So, it is.
There are
in
clothes
the
now, I guess.
Other.
Yeah.
And
Is
here
Teresa
we
in the
have
game?
Taylor's
Yeah.
kit. Let's take this one, for instance.
Yeah, any of them.
Yeah, use it. And this
You
is
can-
now like a quick way.
Yeah, you're
how to-
choosing which type of clothing you want to repair.
There's
Now,
a dialogue choice.
you might say, hey, Tobi and Procker, wait a moment. How can you, with one tailor kit, repair all the items you have? Well, there's an answer.
Yeah, actually, every tailor kit has like the condition, which is like what you see under the little heart there.
Oh, okay.
And based on the price of the things you are repairing, it kind of lowers the condition of the tailor's kit. So if you're trying to repair like way more fancy things, way more fancy clothing, it will take more of your repair kits.
And I think that's absolutely fair. I think, again, that is how to balance it out a little bit
Yeah,
so that you
yeah,
cannot repair your own stuff all the time. So the super heavy, super valuable stuff you either repair with a lot of these kits or you go to the city and get it
And
done.
there's also associated skill. So if you are
Oh.
better at that skill, for example, it will be like easier for you to repair things. You will lose less of your repair kits. But also there are specific perks in that skill that will, for example, make the things better if you repair them. Like you can pet them to make them more stealthy or do some other stuff with them.
I
Oh,
took
sick.
the bone comb because I
So you get
have
a
a
buff.
very wonderful beard in real life, and that needs to be combed sometimes.
Obviously.
But back to business. Hello, Bojana. How close can I get to you? Okay, too close. Let's check out her
New alchemy
wonderful,
station.
beautiful alchemy hut. And you know, that is something. So we get very often the question between realism and gameplay, and it's really important to mention that in the first place we are absolutely working on a video game.
Yes.
First and foremost, right? The realism part is something that we use to flavor everything. That is the tools, the work, the kit that we are using to build everything, to craft everything. But realism can never stand in the way of fun gameplay. So we need to find a balance, and that's like a daily struggle we have.
Yes.
And the alchemy, for instance, the potions are somewhat funny, of course, sometimes. However, still, what we can see here in the book, for instance, these things
beautiful
are
illustration.
actually based on real herbalism
Yes.
that was used in the Middle Ages, right?
If you know, maybe even some of your grandmothers might used a chamomile decoction.
We still drink chamomile tea today.
It really helps with healing, for example. For example, you can see this is like completely new art, and all those
Beautiful.
herbs actually exist. And if it says it grows in roadside stitches in clearings and where there is relief from the sun, and it grows there in real life. If you learn from our game where the herbs grow, you can actually find them in the real world as well.
Exactly. And if it says it's poisonous, then don't try them in real life.
Don't eat it.
Someone was asking if we can carry the book around. No,
Like
the
the
books are
poison
always
potions from
put
KCD?
here. But
Actually, if you can't do now because you're in the tutorial, but now, yes, in KCD2, when you're leaving Henry actually take the book with himself, but later on, I think, I'm not sure if you can go there from the tutorial, but in your Codex, every description of any herb or of any potion is described in your Codex. So you can always know what you need for specific potions. You can always check
Henry can
whether
read,
it's worth it to pick these
this
herbs
one.
and stuff like that.
okay. So back to brewing.
Yes.
Chamomile decoction. Sleep heals you fast, and if good quality energy replenishes faster while sleeping. Of course. You
So
will
you have
need
quality
wine,
levels and
2
potions
handful
now.
of chamomile, and a handful of sage. Add the chamomile and boil for one turn. Grind the sage and add
The
it
dialogue.
to the cauldron, and finally pour. And we can see also a little wonderful picture there on the right.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Correct. To the table. So, first, wine.
First, you have to
So,
pour the
spirit,
white
no.
base into the cauldron. Choose
Oil,
the right
no.
pitcher from the shelf
Wine,
behind
yes.
the left.
What was the last one? Water. No, we take the wine. So we are actually cooking mulled wine here for a little. It's almost Christmas, guys, right? 1 month to go, so a little mulled wine.
Wine, of course. Like it says in the book.
Let's do that.
Glad to hear
Yeah.
it.
And maybe, many of you who played KCD1 know about it, but in this minigame, it shows our approach to everything. As Tobi was saying, immersion is so important to us that even when you're in some minigames, we're really trying to avoid UI-based minigames. We really want to have everything in the game. We really want you to
Yeah,
be
that's
able
cool.
to touch everything. So, yeah, you can see. Can we
Sometimes you need
briefly mention the other big minigame?
Blacksmithing.
Well, I think the chat would love to hear about the blacksmithing.
Yes.
But, guys, we will not show it to you yet. That's quite a big thing. But let's see how much Prokop will actually spoil at this moment.
Why the
I
hell
won't
now
spoil
on
much,
us?
but I'll say there's another really big minigame in our game, and it's kinda similar to Alchemy in a way that you can actually see everything, you can touch everything, you can really, it depends on your skill, not only on Henry's skill, but that as well, there's associated skill actually, but also on player's skill, just like the Alchemy.
Hello.
So it's very, again, sophisticated, deep. You have to do stuff in order to get stuff. Someone might say, wait a moment, that's tedious. But again, on one hand, it is we try to immerse you into the world.
That didn't
and
look like
B,
chamomile.
at least for the alchemy,
some
you know,
bone
guys,
dust.
when you do it, when you brew the potions a little bit, when you level up the skill, you can then auto brew some of the stuff, right?
And it's also kind of smoother. We really try to polish the alchemy as well, so all the animations are a little faster. You can make something even faster. And also the potions are way more useful in KCD2 because just like you had that belt for weapons, you actually can have a pouch, which is like a real item which you can equip, and you can have slots for consumable items. So now,
Looks cool.
well, if you have some time, you can even consume potions in combat, and it can get really handy.
I
Which
remember
emotions?
the quest with Black, the tournament from Ratai in KCD1,
Yeah.
where Black Pete,
Yeah.
the cheater,
wow.
where he was actually covering his blade, his sword in
Poison.
poison.
Yes.
And little
The Bane poison,
spoiler,
the strongest
yeah,
one.
exactly. And little spoiler for KCD1, that's one of the reasons why he always won the tournament. Cheating guy.
I
Okay,
cheated, that's how
so
I
we
won.
have this wonderful mulled wine now.
It will save, well, maybe it will save Capen, so it's important.
Absolutely. Let's take it. One thing I would like to mention as well, because we talked about it briefly, the alchemy system, and that is something, the saving system, that still works with those potions. I think it's very important to mention you brew a potion.
Finish, and I'll talk about the potions a little bit more.
Okay, what is really important that we learned from KCD1, so I know that some of you didn't like the system because in KCD1, in the beginning, when you needed the saving potion
told you what you did wrong.
right? When the game was hard, when you didn't know what to do, it was hardest to come by. It was hard to find, it was hard to buy, you couldn't brew it yet. And that is something that from what we learned, so KCD2 will have not only more autosaves at crucial points, but the alchemy, the saving potion will be easier to come by, which is good for you, but we still want you to have this tiny little investment of using a potion.
Sure.
Risk reward.
I'll do the
I'll
best I
just
can.
let them finish
When
the
you're done
talking.
with that, go get some sleep. You won't miss anything, and you need the rest after everything that happened.
What I wanted to show you is that you actually did now, when you're brewing potions, there's like different qualities of potions. So it's much harder to fail completely. But if you're really good at it, if you have a real good skill and if you're doing it skillfully, you can do really good like qualities of potions, which can have additional benefits.
Oh,
That's
sick.
also a perk that will unlock a completely new like level of potions, and these potions are really strong.
So,
Wonder what they do.
Bojena wants us to hide those guys. I can tell you that it's again a role-playing thing, so we don't have to do this necessarily. Do you guys want me to bury those people before we continue, or do you
Leave
say
them
let's let them rot?
Put
But
it
on
in
the
a
other
house,
hand, I mean,
Tobi.
Bojena was kind of nice to us. I mean, we could
Put it in a house.
we could clean up. You know what? You know
Nah,
what? I'll
just
do
put it in a
Come
house.
on, it's just
Oh.
Bojena saved our life. She's saving Hans's life. So let's get
Leave it in the
rid of
alchemy
those.
shack.
Look, the pig. This callous pig
Stealth
was watching us
100.
kill the guys. Maybe that's some.
So
Maybe
sneaky,
that's
you
a
can't see
druid
him.
That.
In our game,
Yeah, nah. I played too much Baldur's Gate. So
you're not the only one.
everyone did. Such a great game. Which leads me to another question, by the way. So since we were talking about designing and so on, and you are with the game, with the team very long, and the
Yes.
team is quite big, where do you draw your
Prokop was, I met him when I went to
inspiration
Prague.
from generally when you come up with? I mean, yes, it's based on real history, so I guess you take it from history. But like, what do you do to come up with quests?
Yeah, as I was saying at the beginning, you know, the design team is really like, there's a lot of people that really love RPGs, new ones, and even the old ones. And we really like, so there's a lot of inspiration from that, where we really like the freedom of choice, I would say. You know, we really like that. But also, there's like this combination of people that love games and also really, really love history. So we really read old books. We really read like research papers, like proper studying, proper research, and we take a little inspirations from there, from other games, from other media, and we're really trying to. Maybe another thing I would like to say is that we really honor players' time.
Oh yeah.
So every quest, even the tiniest quest in KCD2, is unique. There will be never any fetch quest. Never a quest that will tell you, listen guy, bring me 5 wolves' hides. Never. Every quest has a little story, new characters, something unique. So the KCD2 is a very long game, but we really respect players' time. There's never something that will just prolong the game unnecessary.
Unless you want to, like burying those corpses.
Yeah, they are things you can spend infinite time, doing potions or, hunting in the
But
woods.
there's a reason
and
for it,
people
it makes
actually do.
sense.
But the content prepared for the players is always
A
unique.
good sleep will make a new man.
So I would like to take care of that other corpse, but it's gone. No.
She ate it, or the dog ate it.
But doesn't matter. We go to sleep.
Yeah, let's go sleep.
Probably
and
despawn because they
will
spent so long
magically
talking.
vanish, like they did right now. Sleep and save.
Sleep in those blood-stained pillows. The new waiting system's much faster, and you can see how hungry you're going to get
till the morning.
while waiting
Because
or sleeping. It's having a wet dream. It's about Teresa. Teresa reveal.
A sword such as this will bring honor to its bearer.
True, Sir Radzik. If I'd have had it like back in Nicopolis, things would have worked out differently.
Istan Toth. Our worst enemy. Almost.
Where's my fucking sword?
And I found it. Everything I take now will be mine, and I plan to take everything.
Rotted hell!
Why would I miss one sword?
Because it's the last one my father forged, and I promised him I'd deliver it to you.
The stronger dog fucks the bitches, and war is a nasty business.
Thanks to the dono, massive
Where's my
idiot.
fucking sword!
You know what? I think I'll keep it as a memento.
This isn't over.
Triggered.
I'll find you!
Will he find him though? We'll find out in this episode. KCD2.
Don't disappoint me.
I want to finish Fort
Wake
London,
up,
but my
Henry.
save file got corrupted,
It's
so I don't think we will. I might replay at some point. Oh, I can see in colour now. It's my mother. We've really dreamed about our mum a lot. Was it hands?
Hallelujah. I thought you'd never wake. Were you having a nightmare?
He was having a different kind of dream. She really aged backwards, didn't she, this old lady? It's her daughter, I know, but it would be funny.
Bad dreams. You must be Pavlena, right?
That's right. I came in the evening while you were asleep. Ma told me what happened to you. Then I helped Ma take care of your friend that night?
Hans? He's alive. How is he?
Have no fear. He's alive, all right. Maybe too alive. Ma knows what she's doing, and that's the truth. I reckon she could bring the dead back to life.
She's
said
a
she
necromancer.
dosed you with the strongest remedies she knows, and it looks like they did the trick. On that other fella for sure. Since he came to this morning, he hasn't stopped talking.
Yeah, that sounds like him, all right.
And what about you? How do you feel?
Definitely better than yesterday. Thanks.
That's good. Ma will be glad, but I heard you yelling in your sleep and went to check on you. Bad dreams?
I dreamt of
She really wants to
Istvan
ask
Toth,
about those dreams.
a villainous, murderous whoreson who stole my sword. The last memento I had of my father, and I swore to get that sword back and avenge my parents.
Alright, calm down.
That oath must be serious if it even torments you in your sleep. Dreams shouldn't be taken lightly. They can have real meaning, however hard they are to understand. What strikes you as the most important part of your dream?
My sword. My sword.
Okay, guys, what do you want?
beautiful
1, 2,
virgin. No,
3,
it's
4,
gonna-
or 5?
Wow, the fourth option, it has to be. Yeah, 100%. Just, like, it makes no sense in this conversation, but it has to be this option.
You dirty, dirty, dirty guys.
I dreamt of terrible things. Flames, violence, war. And then the glittering silver and scallops turned into the surface of a lake. And from the lake emerged a naked, supernaturally beautiful girl. She took me into her arms and carried
So
me away
cringe.
from everything to her own island. And there, she saved my life.
Well, now, that probably means you're lonely and seeking company. Fortunately, you can join ours.
Well, she
Breakfast
knows.
is on the table, and I've got something else for you too. Come along,
That's how you,
and we
you
must
out
save
yourself
Marvel
as a
the
virgin.
Duchess of his lordship.
Okay. And back.
Join
again.
us for breakfast. I could eat a horse.
Yeah, you can.
You have to.
They did a
Oh.
fresh batch.
Absolutely. Give me more goulash or stew or whatever you want to call that.
Love a goulash.
What is that food actually?
Yeah, what is it?
That's like one of the. It looks a lot like chili con carne, which I
it's not
strongly
chili con
believe
carne.
it's not chili con carne.
What
Well,
is it?
it's
Yeah.
actually like a little historical fact. They're usually, they kind of used any food that they had in their houses, and they kind of brew this like a thing.
This
and
non-stop stew, right?
And in taverns, they actually had something on the stove all the time, and they only added new food, and it was always boiling, so it never got
No
bad.
way.
And they just completely kept eating and eating. from
Mystery stew.
And you know
Just
where
add
you can
everything.
read information like that? Well,
in our Codex.
in the Codex,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I think it's really beautiful. There's like you can learn about history. If that's your thing, you can learn about history in here. Even like little facts. It unlocks throughout the game, so it doesn't front load all the information at the beginning.
I am going to
when you
read
like
this.
first, for example, when you first go to the smithy, there'll be a new codex unlocked. You can learn about
Everlasting
it. And there's
stew.
a general. There's like you can learn about the characters. Handscape on is first. There's always, well, not always, but there's usually a really good art associated with that. And, as we were saying, Hans Capen, your friend, is a real historical figure. Otto von Berghoff, the guy you're trying to deliver the message to. Another real historical figure.
Daniel Vavra.
Yes,
I mean,
well, Sir Hamish of Leipa, yeah.
Sir Hamish of Leipa. And our
Daniel is the
nemesis,
CEO
Yeah,
of
Mark
Warhorse.
Barton.
Marquardt von Aulitz.
Yes, yes. And you can learn about society, about crafts, about everything. And there's, in the end of the game, there'll be a huge, like, a list of things you can learn
I
about.
love the writing as
the
well.
abduction of Wenceslas, the rightful king.
The burning of Skalitz, right?
Yeah. The thing that started it all.
And,
And also on the left side, if you go to the left, when on the chat they were asking whether when you go to the herbs
hop.
and now to the herbs, yeah,
Okay, sorry.
you have basically everything you need for the alchemy. You
Oh,
have it
that's
here,
cool.
so you can learn. You can see how many of every herb you have in your inventory, so you can quickly check what you have, what you need to do. There's always a little description
Love
that
those
tells you where it grows. Yeah, useful information.
Absolutely, absolutely. Burning of Skalitz. This is, guys, where everything started.
Yeah.
February
medieval artwork.
13th, I think, 2018.
Yes, exactly.
That is where everything started. Thanks for the guys that were supporting us from day one, pretty much.
Hell
Just started
yeah.
way earlier in Kickstarter, but this is where KCD1 started.
Yeah, but honestly,
Yeah.
really, we are deeply thankful. It was like a long shot to make KCD,
Yeah.
and we did it. And you guys really, you did like the game, and that's the only thing that enabled us to do this KCD2.
I like how the stew
Absolutely.
is
So let's
law friendly. Like I always
go
wondered
outside.
about why
You can
they
see
always
this is a
have
different
that
time of
stew.
day, so the,
in the pots.
lightning is a little different. The fog is a little different.
There's one less chicken than before.
Ah, yeah. Evil Tobi.
Evil Tobi. And there's
And
our...
Hans Kenkoman is alive.
Hooray!
Henry! Come and
There's your murder! Murder!
Yeah, yeah.
'cause of
I
the
think
chicken.
she saw the dead body or the dead chicken. Yeah.
The murderer.
Maybe a bit of both. But anyway, this is the point
so
where our
funny.
little story ends for today. So if you have any questions, if you want to know anything, if we if
We've
there's
buried
anything
like
that
8
is
bodies in a
stayed
back
unanswered,
garden.
now is the time to yeah, ask, and we will try and accommodate where we can.
Yeah, if you have any questions, we can briefly talk about it. Wolf
Run
in the
off into the
forest.
forest.
Yes, there are wolves in the forest, and they are dangerous. Yes.
They've been
Another
added.
spoiler, new information.
Just a little thing.
Yeah, that's a little thing. Come on, sit down, Toby. Sit down.
I think you
Good
should.
morning, Henry.
Yeah, this is like the conversation at the.
No idea how glad I am to see you.
Aren't bugs a
Come
wonderful
join our
thing? But
black
don't worry, as I
crooks in
said,
the
we
midst
are
of these
neck deep
exquisite
into
woods.
bug fixing
Yeah,
and so on.
yeah.
And this is again, as I
You
said in the beginning, that's an earlier build, an older build, I mean, so probably fixed already at
All the
this
more
point.
cause for merrymaking.
However, this is one of
Even this
the
water now
few
tastes like the finest
recap
wine. Of
dialogues
course.
we can
I
see
did
here.
bring it all the way from the
So
spring.
And for that, I am in your debt.
let's
fair
enjoy
and
our
I'm
wonderful
grateful to
best
you
friend,
too, Henry.
Hans Capen.
But you
Another
haven't
question
told
here:
me
is
what
it possible to
happened
pass
here
game as
yesterday.
pacifist?
That's the
Well,
third time you've
we
saved my life.
really want you to
I
give
suppose
all
I'll
the
have to
options.
give you
So
some
most of the
estate or
situations
something.
is
The
you are
third
able
time.
to,
What
go
involves
without
me
any
happened
fighting.
The first 2 times.
You can, influence
Henry,
what's happening. You
don't
can
make
avoid
a bet.
most of the fights,
Tell this
but
good
there
man
are
of
some
your
very unique story
heroic
moments.
deeds.
Big battles, which are awesome, by the way. I'm really looking forward when we could show that to you, where you have to fight. But even in those situations,
It's gonna be a future
you
live stream.
usually can influence how hard the fight is. For example, if you didn't kill Mikesh and Kozlik, they will help you in some of the battles.
Again, see, it's the little things, it's the little choices that can
Oh.
have a big impact on the game. And everyone is saying one, you want to really throw Hans Capen under the bus here. But you have to understand the situation that's going on here. With this kind of system of the dialogues where you can answer something, obviously someone who never played KCD1 before will not know that. So there's this kind of this is kind of a way where we are trying to either give you the chance to say, yeah, I know how these things happened, and the dialogues and the situations might change according to that, or you can learn what actually happened back in the times.
Well,
so yeah,
there was this time when me and
damn
Hans
smile.
had
yeah.
some fisticuffs in the tavern, and for punishment, I had to accompany him on the hunt.
And I shot a boar.
I made it mad.
Well, he didn't.
When Hans chased after me,
Well, he
got
tried.
by a Cuban patrol.
But as we all learned, boars are being hunted with spears.
Yeah, and you can now use spears or long weapons.
Pole arms.
Mercenaries from
Somewhere
Hungary.
in Hungary.
Yeah. And basically, this is like
Sigismund
another
brought them here
thing
to
where,
Bohemia as
if
mercenaries.
you saw earlier, you could have
dangerous
cut
bunch.
the story short.
told you
But this is
about
like the
them,
optional thing.
the
If you,
fellas
for
in the
example,
tavern in
didn't play
Chelios,
KCD1,
the
or
same
if you
some foreigners
just
like
forget
that
what
camping
happened,
in the rocks
you can
around
delve
the
deep
pond.
in these dialogues. You don't have to.
It's
You
just
can
what I heard.
skip them, and it's fine. It's not something that
that's
will
all
like
we
haunt
need.
you later. The
hope they
story
don't
progress
turn
is
up
just
here.
fine. But if you really want to know more,
us two
if you're
to
interested in the
alone
lore,
against them.
you can
What could
delve
they
deep.
want from us? But if they did
Shoot your
come
questions,
here to rob
guys.
us,
We
I'd
will
shoot
end
enough
this stream
arrows into them to make them
shortly.
think twice. But
We are
the
getting
thing I
closer
want
and
to know
closer
is,
to the end.
how did it end up with young Sir Hans?
Transparency.
Well,
Is
as I
there
said, they took
transparency
him captive.
option for the
There
UI?
must have been 10 of
Nope,
them.
not at this
I haven't
point.
a chance.
This is what you get, and if
Must
we
have
do
been
something in
seeing double.
future, well, then we
As I
tell you in the
recall,
future.
Might be a hardcore mode. They have
That just
discussed that
proves how well
previously.
You can count. Besides, they were armed to the teeth.
They did a
and had
survey
bows and
actually.
armor.
Maybe
Might
they're
as
at
well have
launch.
been 10.
Whatever. Anyway, with a bit of luck,
But probably later,
freeze her
is
out.
what Toby said.
Why the modesty? You got them.
But they know it was really
Maybe a
popular
stroke
last
of
time, so.
luck, But as we know, al dentes.
Fortuna Juvat.
See now, you've finally learned it.
What?
It's just this kind of motto of ours. Fortune favors the bold.
Maybe they're really telling the truth about who they are. Who but a lord or a priest could know Latin? And priests they ain't. I can tell.
And as I recall, you already got a pony from Uncle Hanush as a reward for saving me. You're
Pebbles. Yes.
So I'll save myself a few grosh.
Is Pebbles still
You
alive?
never gave me anything for Townburg.
For Townburg? What was that about then?
Yeah, and actually there was a question in chat as well. Pebbles, your first horse in KCD1.
Legendary.
Yes, he is in KCD2. He's a
Yes.
little hidden, so you need to find him. And there's also a way to make him better. It's hidden as well. But yes, if you loved Pebbles, you can actually use him, and he can be really good in KCD2.
I never
I like
change
how
my
you call
horse
everything
every
hidden,
time I play the
but
game.
say it to the millions of people that are watching.
I didn't say how to achieve that, so it's still, the
I love
mystery
it.
about
Dude,
that.
if there's one thing that is common about me, then I love to spill the beans. So be my guest.
I'm a little bit more careful
Be
than
my
you in
guest.
this.
Be my
It's
guest.
like a little teaser that there are things to be found, and we always try to reward your curiosity. We really respect your time, as I was saying, but also your intelligence. If you try new things, if you try different approaches, the game will reward you.
And people were asking about Mutt. That's a secret. You will see it then in the game. Mutt, of course,
You
we
can't
saw him
carry
in the
over
trailer already, so
perks.
Mutt is existing, but where is he right now? You will see.
The foe took the castle by subterfuge, and we planned a counterattack.
Under the cloak of darkness, we scaled the mighty walls of Townburg Castle to get inside and open the portcullis to our brothers in arms who were poised and ready to attack.
And we almost succeeded. Only, along the way, Sir Hans here took an arrow to his noble seat.
Seat! He got
His
shot in
arse.
the backside!
My upper thigh, actually.
Backside it was. But that's no joke either. It's not easy to run with an arrow stuck in your arse. If I hadn't carried him...
I admit it, you saved my arse.
Well, now, you two have been through a thing or two. As far as I can tell, it really was his backside and not his thigh. I examined Hans and saw the scar for myself. But I reckon you paid off part of your debt the other day, sir.
How did you beat that cutthroat? Yeah.
How did you beat that cutthroat? I don't know. How did you beat that cutthroat?
True enough. Hey, how did you manage to get the best of that cutthroat the other night when you hauled me here?
To be honest, by a stroke of luck. We were fighting outside, but that fucker got a hold of his falcon and let me have it in the guts. I thought I was done for, but I groped around and found a pail and whacked him with it with the last of my strength. And luckily, I hit him a nice crack right on the noggin. Can't remember a thing after that.
My word. Fortune really does favour you. You chose your motto well.
Once we get back to Ratai, I'll have it inscribed on my shield.
Do tell. What else did the two of you encounter?
Quite a lot of things.
A wild
I'm afraid
maiden.
We don't have much time for storytelling right now. We came here on an important mission, and we cannot afford to dally any longer. We have to get to Trotsky as soon as we can.
Do we even have the
How
letter
far
still?
is it from here?
Not far. Once you climb the hill above Zhelioth, you'll see the castle.
All right. I think we should get on our way as soon as possible.
I'll prepare a bit of food for you.
Oh, she's a lovely lady.
I don't know how to thank you for all this.
Ah, but I do. Once we've settled our business with von Bergov, I shall reward you as befits a knight. You have my word of honor.
Now you've got me curious. I never got a knight's word before.
For a start, you can leave me that spade. We can't manage without it.
Yes, of course. And thanks for everything you've done.
What if you take it?
I have something for you, Henry. Ma
damn.
had trouble because of you, but I know you didn't do it on purpose, and you protected her when she needed it. I want to thank you for that. Take this potion. It will help when you're in danger or don't know which way to turn. Have a little sip each time, and it'll save you a lot of trouble. You'll see.
That's a cool description of a
It's not all that hard to
save.
brew. With a bit of practice, you could manage it yourself.
Thanks, Pavlina. This'll come in handy.
No doubt. But we'd better get going now.
Hans is right.
As I told you guys, we are getting closer and closer to the end, and I think that is where the end should start. So after this dialogue, again, the two will travel the world, but that is something you will see on February 11th, 2025. So yeah, that is something for you to discover. As I said, shoot your questions. Prokop has something prepared. He read already the chat.
Yeah, there are some questions that I can answer, I think. One was about different endings of the game. I will not spoil anything, don't worry.
Nope.
But yes, there
Just
are
one
different
ending.
endings. And
Oh,
as I said, I don't want to spoil anything, but I'd said like a motto when we were writing the story is that the KCD one was from a young boy to a man. It was like a journey to manhood. And now it's a journey from man to warrior. And the very important distinction is not to hero, and that has something to do with the endings.
Henry will never become a hero. Henry is our boy Henry, regular fellow kinda from Skalitz who lost everything, who got torn into or dragged into a very terrible situation, civil war, things are going up and down. And as we saw in the trailers or heard in the trailers, war is a nasty business, and he unfortunately have to see this with his own eyes, and it will change him absolutely the way he is. As I said, KCD1, as you said, he starts really as this bloke who barely can,
just a village bloke
who barely can hold a sword, and now he is part of a entourage that is supposed to carry a letter asking for this noble, if he's on our side or the side of the attacker. So it's really, he gets pushed into this real big, on this big stage.
The
and
events in KCD2 are like way more important for the region and for the events. He will never be the main driving force because he's still our Henry. He's the relatable guy. He's in new situations. He's trying to orient himself. Everything is new for him, just as for the player. This connection when both Henry, both the hero, and both the player kind of are discovering things at the same pace. We feel it makes this great connection. And maybe another question was in the chat. It was about Master Strikes, and I don't want to delve into combat 2D because I think that could be like a separate, maybe some
We saw
event or
combat
stream
last
or video or
episode.
anything. But just
Quite a
this
bit.
little thing, the combat is heavily improved, and especially in KCD1, Master Strike
They don't have
could
this
have been
weird slow
really
motion.
abused. It was too strong.
yeah.
So we are well aware of this. We read through all of the feedback about most of the things. So the Master Strike still is in KCD2, but it is way harder to do actually. So it's way riskier and way harder. So we really want to emphasize like a very aggressive gameplay. We don't want you to just wait to block everything and win every combat.
Okay.
Well, I'm more defensive
Damn it.
guy. I mean, I enjoy a lot when fighting. I enjoy a lot this back and forth. And there I saw a question about the Master Strikes. I'm a person that is trying to be more, let's say, read the situations. So I see the enemy attacking. I perform the Master Strikes or a good block. Perfect blocks, sorry. And then counterattack somehow. So that is how I usually try and win. But even that was improved. So really, generally, it really matters on where the enemy is having his sword, right? If you attack his sword or his weapon side, he will have an easier time to block everything. If you're attacking the counter sword side, then he will have a easier time to perform like counter.
You can feint as well.
Combos and so on. So
And
it's a
dodge.
really fly like a butterfly, sting like a bee,
And
like
there's-
Muhammad Ali always said.
Even in our offices, there's like multiple ways. People like enjoy different approaches to combat. Somebody is like really this kind of swordsman, like Tobi, that doesn't really do anything too fancy. You really just like to.
Excuse me.
Yeah. We saw it, Tobi. We saw it in the combat with the bandits.
Again, I'm a great actor.
Yeah.
I pretended that I have no chance, but
Yeah, some people really like to, use ranged weapons. Some people really like to use combos. Some people like to switch weapons in the middle of the combat to just, do different type of changes and use the combos from different weapon types. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of depth.
Different weapon types have different
It's
animations
It's
and
easier
attacks
to
now.
learn, but the depth is there.
the debt is also there.
For you.
For me. Yeah. But the debt was not there. Well, different story.
Yeah.
So, anything else? Can you put the hood up? Well, you can definitely, with the push on a button, you can raise and lower your visor.
The visor on the helmet, but you can't
It's actually
put a
now
hood
a
up.
mechanic. In KCD1, it was like automatic. When you like drew your sword, and if you had a helmet that had this visor, it automatically lowered. Now there's a special button to it. So if you prefer to see more, you can do that, but you are vulnerable in your face. And be careful, because more skilled opponents will actually target your uncovered parts.
Damn.
Be careful with that.
So cover your parts.
Yes.
Okay, what else is there? Okay, so many questions.
Yeah, the chat is crazy.
Frame generation. Yeah, there will be some. That's like a technical question. Yeah, there will be some support of that.
Just wait till the specs. They'll be at the end of the year, guys.
Does the game pause while in the menus?
Yes.
Of course. You can even pause cutscenes, which is important for,
Yes,
I don't
that's
know
a
who,
new
but for someone
feature.
who needs to go to the toilet in the middle of a cutscene. Who would do that? But
if you're live streaming, it can be useful.
mounted
you want to
combat,
pause
of
and
course.
talk.
There was also already mounted combat in KCD1. Of course, relatively low key, kinda, but generally everything you know from KCD1 was transferred into KCD2 and tried to be improved on. However, this game is still not focusing on mounted combat. So it's in there, you saw it in the trailers, you can shoot your bow from the horse, for instance.
But it's
And
a
a
little
mini
interesting
crossbow.
thing. There's like new ranged weapons. We already showed them. So there are
Heavy
crossbows
crossbow,
and
light
early
crossbow.
medieval guns. And even for the crossbows, there's like multiple types of crossbows. And the heavier ones could, on the first glance, seem like the best choice because they have the best damage. But they're slower to reload, and on horseback you can't reload some of those. Only on light crossbow you can reload.
Like a
on
mountain
horseback.
blade.
Because if you ever saw this heavy crossbow, you need to have this lever there and then put it. So that is, of course, not possible. So a question about German voice actors, that is something that our publisher is dealing with. I know that they are trying to match the voice actors from KCD1, which makes a lot of sense, and I guess they will do that. But unfortunately, some of the voice actors died, unfortunately, so there have to be some changes, of course. But other than that, I think we're trying generally for parity in those.
Definitely.
I mean, it makes sense for you as well.
Sad to hear, but it was
There a demo?
a lot
No,
of
but
years in
if you
between.
catch me somewhere flying around the world, then you can play the demo. We are actually this weekend, for the Czech people and maybe Germans if they want to travel over. This weekend we will be at MCR, which is like the championship of video games here in the Czech Republic. They're actually playing Counter-Strike for most of the time, but we'll have a tiny booth there where we will show Kingdom Come Deliverance in Czech language. So if you
for the first one.
for the first time ever,
Pretty
so
cool.
you will see the Czech voiceovers. But I guess that's only interesting for the Czech guys out there. Okie dokie. I think that was a very interesting, very good stream. I think I didn't promise you enough when I said we are going on a hike together. It was a lot of walking, talking, and watching, but I hope you guys loved and enjoyed the scenery with us.
I think it was a good stream.
Prokop,
Really enjoyed it.
Thank you for having me.
Being with me, with sharing all those.
Prokop
interesting
was
information.
great.
Thank you for always saying something is a secret and then saying it to the camera. I hope you like it. Stay
We love
vigilant,
it.
guys.
We love you,
Follow us
Prokop.
on social media /Kingdom Come RPG on most of the social medias. Again, if you want the collector's edition, which is down there,
Still available in the USA.
you will not get the armpit collector's edition. You get the fresh one. If you're in the United States, then you can still get it on GameStop. So go there and check it out and get it for you. Unfortunately, well, good for us. They are sold out pretty much everywhere in the world. Bad for you. Don't go to, how do you call it, scalpers?
Yeah.
Don't do that for the sake of your health and our health. I mean, please don't. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's your choice. And scalpers, don't be scalpers. And I think that's
100%.
everything. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us. Stay medieval, everyone. Audentis fortuna juvat. Fortune favors the brave.
Yes.
Take care. Be good.
Bye.
See you on the other side.
Very cool stream, guys. Really enjoyed that. I think one of the things that I wanted to highlight that they changed with the combat as well is you used to be able to stab up sideways attacks even with weapons where it didn't make sense, like the mace, you could stab with the mace. So they've now changed that. So each weapon has its own moveset that actually makes sense for that weapon. Same with combos and stuff, which was similar to the first game still, but each weapon actually feeling exclusively like that weapon is a pretty cool feature, I think. I want to test the bathhouse. I think that's what we're all waiting for, really. And yeah, I mentioned Teresa, but I didn't want to talk over them. But there is a dialogue option as you're playing the game. There's quite a few of these dialogue options when it comes to oh, well, so how competent were you with alchemy or sword fighting? You can actually respond, and based on that, you kind of pick your perks and how good you were. But there's one dialogue option where it's oh, were you sweet on Teresa or not? And based on your decision there, I think it affects whether you guys are still in a relationship or whether you can still, get with her. So I probably would just do the whole thing again because I think that would be interesting. But yeah, no, I love to make these streams and just support Warhorse and get the word out about the game because I think it's really good. And I think it's made by a really rare group of developers that have made a game that they're actually really passionate about. A lot of the people who still work at Warhorse have stayed, and the reason for that is because they all really care about what they're making and they really enjoy their jobs. A lot of the people I met back when I toured the studio 2017 are still there. So you see that when you play the world of how many details are placed there, and all these ideas that have been put in the game by people who are creating it. I feel like you don't get that from other AAA studios where someone's just clocking in at 9 a.m. and leaving at 5 p.m. So, if you drop a like on the video and share it and, all that's appreciated, just help push the word about Kingdom Come 2 out. There might be a chance I go over there in January, actually check the game out and even do a live stream with them from their studio on the channel. So we have that. Might happen in the future. Don't know what we'll be doing, but thank you so much for watching, guys. And I'll see you in the next Kingdom Come live stream. I'll probably stream it. The next game we're playing, by the way, is going to be Stalker 2, which is out tomorrow. So I'll see you there as well. Farewell and have a lovely evening, whatever you might be doing. Goodbye.